I think we're going to talk about, and I know I want to touch points on it, and you had a couple things, but the whole coronavirus and going back to school.
Yeah, we kind
It's a
of,
big topic right now in New York.
yeah, we brushed over that like kind of in parts at the beginning, but yeah, that is a good point that I want to talk about. How has it been surfacing in New York?
The biggest thing right now is they're trying to figure out if kids are going to go back to school in person or not this fall. Right. And so
Okay.
I currently go to a CUNY, City University, New York school, and we're following whatever K through 12 does. So it's really like the whole city is dependent upon what they decide to do for the elementary through high school students. And right now it looks like, just because of everything else that's happening across the country, like you see in North Carolina, UNC, it took them like 1 week and they're already back off campus. They're doing online learning. Schools in Georgia opened up and no one was wearing masks in the hall and went viral. And like, I think they had 300 kids quarantined or something crazy. And so you hear about that here. And I think it's going to be online this fall.
And that's going to be for all K through 12 in the city of New York.
In the city of New York, yeah, all K through 12, and then that means all university students too. So that'd be CUNY students, and then they might do state of New York schools as well. I'm not sure though, but it just trickles. You know, it's not even if you're not in school at all and you're just working at this point, this still affects you. You know,
Right. And not, it doesn't just affect kids, it really affects parents too, because there's probably no more difficult time to have young kids in the school system than now, because, if you're working a full-time job, it's how can you be responsible to also guide your kids through online learning?
yeah, that's really tough. You know, you see like the little viral clips going around where I saw this one TikTok. Excuse me. This dad, like this girl, like got two Amazon Echoes, right? Hid one of them that wasn't like, it was muted or something. The other one she put right in front of her dad's computer for work, and she like starts playing some really loud, annoying ass like pop song. It was WAP. It was the new Cardi B song, right?
The only song that matters. Yep.
The only one. Got some hoes in the
Stop,
house.
stop. Wait. Keep going.
Okay. And so it starts going off, right? He's in the middle of a Zoom meeting. You see like 10 heads on the Zoom call, right? And he's just like, Megan, I told you, if you would do this again, this is why I have myself muted. Oh my God. And he's going in and he's like trying to turn it off. Then he like can't turn it off because it's not even the one that's playing. So he's just doing a ton of extra shit. But kids are going to be annoying the fuck out of their parents this entire next year. It's going to be crazy.
It's gonna be rough. And like, I do think that there could be a gap that's getting created now between, or the gap will be increased between like wealthier families and families that are less well off, because I do think there's going to be a significant portion of kids that won't have the same access and like to technology that other kids have. And they might not even have like the ability to like participate per se in all the opportunities that are available. And I mean, that if this goes on for say one entire school year, that's a pretty substantial gap. And not to mention that there's a lot of kids that rely on school as a means for providing like subsidized breakfast and lunch every day. And that's crazy.
I think you're very right. There will be another gap, just like how you think of like universities. There's a gap with, or when you go to a more resource school, apparently you can be you're gonna have a better experience and you're gonna learn
Right.
more, and it'll all be better. I think the same will be happening in schools. It's already been happening in separate districts, different resources, but now it's just like the playing field is completely unlevel. You've got kids who have laptops at home, who have high-speed internet connections, versus other kids in the same school who don't have a phone, who don't have an internet, or who don't have an internet connection at home, don't have a laptop to use, and already are probably facing other struggles at home too. I think it's going to be a really down year for like learning for academic purposes and actually learning.
Yeah.
Kids might do the same in school, because cheating online is so
right.
easy.
Yeah. And I think it's also going to highlight that teachers, especially teachers in the K through 12 system, they're not just educators. They play multiple roles. And I think that we experience that too. I mean, we've obviously had good teachers, bad teachers, and like great teachers, but they play like some sort of leadership role in kids' lives, some more so than others. And I think that to some degree is kind of thrown out the window by online learning. And at the same time, I don't envy any of the people that have to make these choices, because who wants to be the person that says, schools can go back and then, there's an outbreak, or someone gives it to their grandparents, something like that, or a teacher gets sick, a teacher dies. Like, no one wants to be in that position either.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a very difficult call to make. And I think that there's going to be negative repercussions regardless. Like there's bad on both sides.
On
for
both
sure.
sides,
Yeah.
and I think, like you said, there'll be teachers that shine because of this opportunity. Some are doing pretty well in this online environment. I've spoken with a couple of young teachers around 25, and they've received training for like doing online school, and like they can do a classroom all day and make sure that it's good. But there's older teachers who aren't very good with using Zoom or leading a class online, and it's a completely different type of instruction style, and
Yeah,
teachers are
that's
still learning how to
great
deal with
point.
it.
Yeah, I mean, I have to show my dad like how to use Zoom every time. Like we're on a call, it's like reteaching it for the first time. But yeah, and I'm just thankful that I don't have, a 7-year-old and an 8-year-old to like guide through school. God,
What's
that's
the
crazy.
weirdest thing? We like pulled all the kids out of school when coronavirus was at like its lowest point, right? Everyone back in
Yanked
March,
him out.
yank them out, get them out, get them on
Get
an
him out of
iPad, get them
there.
learning.
Get him out of there. Give him an
And
iPad.
now we're so hurried to get everyone back to school. What the hell is that about? Like, we were so quick to take everyone out when it was at its lowest, and now coronavirus is like 170,000 people have died in the country, right?
Mm.
And we're trying to push kids back into being in school. It doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense. It makes zero sense.
It's weird. I think it's hard because, and there's so little science that's like that concrete on this, but people, obviously it seems like the kids themselves aren't being that negatively impacted per se by the virus, but there's still a possibility that they can transmit it to other people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think how much of a factor that is still being discussed. But at the same time, if they don't go back now, then when? And that extends beyond just like school per se, but everything, like returning to the workplace,
Yeah.